We will have a look. As we all know, Jiangxi Weir has a history of more than 860 years. It's been many years, it still plays the role as irrigation structure. So how can it maintain this function for hundreds of years? So today we are going to visit this World Heritage, Jiangxi Weir.
大家现在看到的这个是大家现在看到这条江呢是灵山港，它的下游中心呢
In front of us is the river. It's called 灵山 Harbor.
沙洲呢一分为二。古人正是看到了这个中心
And this juncture divides the river into two flows. That's why ancient people built this project here. It used two water entities and to allow the water utilization in this area for the agriculture. And there are also other water conservancy facilities along the bank. This weir has witnessed 600 to 700 years, but now it still works as the irrigation structure. And the structure maintains its original type. So the experts said that this is really a model in China's history in terms of the irrigation projects. And this Jiangxi Weir locates on the river, which is sometimes tranquil, sometimes rapid. And it has multi-functions like the farming, irrigation, and commercial use. So how can these irrigation projects make us the multifunctional roles? And now I will interview the chief engineer from the Water Conservancy Bureau in Longyou County, Professor Zhou. Jiangxi Weir has located here for 1,000 years. It has the natural features and advantages. Firstly, let's talk about the location. It runs from the south of the Great Mountain, and the water here is relatively stable. And the latitude is relatively high, so this can guarantee the safety. And it can also maximize the downstream water utilization. It covers 35,000 mu. And we also use the mobile principles. And we take the advantages of the geographic features. This weir can cover more farmland. And next, let's know about the layout. It divides into several parts on this layout map. It mainly covers 6 parts. And you can clearly see that this weir is different from common weir because it has the upstream weir and downstream weir. And in the center, there is a natural forest. This island is very important, is key to the weir, because it divides this whole Lingshan Harbor into 2 parts. So this river is naturally made. This flume is naturally made. And the upper one is the mainstream. So during the flood season, this way can divert water from the flooding area, and it can release the flood burden. It also save and protect this island, so that to guarantee the safety of the whole structure. This is the layout. And the third is the features of the structure. And you can see here is a very large slope. And here is relatively narrow. And there is an arc shape here. So that to enlarge the area, the length. So during the past construction of this weir, we accumulated experiences. This is the wood framework of the structure. So what's the characteristics of this structure? It is very strong. It can effectively protect the weir from being damaged or ruined. And during the construction, this structure can be submerged in water, so it reduces the difficulties during the construction. Back then, there was no water conservancy principle or structural principle, but we discovered and we invented this structure, so this is a great achievement. And these are stones. Yes, all of these stones are from Lingshan Harbor. And these sticks are wood. They will not be ferocious. So this wood and the stones can sustain for thousands of years. And they can stand there for 1,000 years, and now they are still there. It's pretty hot here. Why this weir can stand for 1,000 years? The main reasons is from the layout and structures. Also, the local government and departments protect and renovate this weir regularly. Just now you mentioned it has the natural advantages, and these materials are from the nature. And we can see it combines the features of both human beings and the nature. Yes, it respects the natural law. We do not design it on purpose. Dear viewers, on August the 14th, on the 19th International Executive Council meeting of the ICID, it inscribed Jiangxi Weir as the World Heritage. Just now from Ms. Zhou's introduction, we heard that The features of its layout and structure makes it stand for more than 600 years. And please take a look at this monument. So what are the stories on these monuments? And how about the lessons we can learn from the ancient people? We've invited Mr. Huang, the director from the Water Conservancy Department. So what's the principle of the Water Conservancy of Jiangxi Weir? There is a very important system, that's the chief of the river. And the chief of the Weir is elected by the people, and it is elected for every 5 years. So you can see this democracy. And this chief of the Weir system is also a leveled system. This is the monument from Ming Dynasty. This content is from the history of the county. And you can see it writes, this monument was established in Ming Dynasty. And one of the most important quotes on this monument is the chief of the Weir system. 60 persons will report to the chief of the Weir. So the current chief of the river system also originates from this system. The background of this chief system is that it is elected by people. It is democratic. And other people will elect the committee and the chief of the Weir. So, was he a common person? No, he is a very respectful farmer and also a very famous gentleman in the village. So back then, common people can also be the chief of the Weir, but can they govern the Weir area well? Yes, because he himself is a gentleman, a famous gentleman in the village, so he has relevant ability to govern the Weir area, and the people, the villagers, trust him. So according to our historic book, these monuments from Ming Dynasty to the public period. So the common people themselves will govern this Weir. Yes, the leaders will conduct the patrolling role. They will inspect this area, like the water utilization and the agricultural work, and also the transportation. This will be coordinated by the authority, the leaders. This is the role of the leaders. So you mean the leaders will inspect and supervise, but the common people will take the role and to take a practice.
这个官多民办的这个是我们最有特色，也是社会管理中最有创新的一个行为。那你比方说。
This system is a very innovative one. In the past, the Jiangxi Weir charged for the water. Because there is a flood season of this weir. And you see it writes here, for each mu of the farmland, people need to donate 161. This is about 10 to 20% of the tax rate. So it's not high. Here also writes the democratic content. It says once you gather the money from the common people, you cannot hold it for more than 1 week, or rather, it means corruption. And there is the credit book, which will be sent out to the people so that to inform the people where the money are used. You see it writes here, the credit book is open to the public for supervision and reference. So this is the civil supervision. Yes, because in order to conduct the tax system and the policy, you need to divide it into levels. And for all levels, there will be problems, so you need supervision from the civil society. And we can see people are very proactive. Is it because Jiangxi Weir brings advantages and good things to the people? Yes, after the establishment of the system, in this whole county, the output of the grain was largely improved. So the soil here was very rich because of the weir. That brings the great output of the grain. According to the statistics in ancient times, for each mu, it increased 15 to 20% of the output. So, in agricultural era, this really increased the income of the people. What does this call? This is called 水队. Because Jiangxi Weir has a very democratic system. There are 72 junctures in this weir, but it is not sufficient. So we use other facilities like this one, so that to use the water effectively. This one is renovated. This is to make the grain into rice and to make the rice into flour. Back then, we have more than 30 similar facilities, and we also have other equipment this really helped the people because it increased the income of the people. So at that time, people were so happy. So they have a really happy life because they transform water into power, into productivity. Can you introduce us some stories? Yes, because the system is democratic. So there were two leaders. I can tell you their stories. They were famous gentlemen in the village. And one of them led the construction of this weir, and most of the capital are donated from the people. So after the construction, there were many stories about him, and people also sacrificed for him. And in Ming and Qing dynasty, there was a temple to honor these two gentlemen. You mentioned you have a deep feeling and affection with Jiangxi Weir. Can you share with us? So, do you preserve any treasure? Speaking of Jiangxi Weir, in the past there was no concrete materials. So all the materials were collected at scene from the nature. So the main frameworks of this whole weir are wood. This is the supporting structure. It is very stable and solid. And the structure is also from ancient times, so that this weir can maintain strong. And until now, it still maintains its original type and shape. Director Huang is bringing us to a villager's house because they have a precious treasure which is related to Jiangxi Weir. So later on, we will reveal it. Here we are. It's very close. Hello. Have you just finished your farm work or you are going out? No? Where is your treasure? Show us the treasure. Where is it? It has a history of 680 years, so it is a piece of wood. What does it use for? This is a local wood. It is used as the main structure. This is the original wood of the structure. Well, during the flooding season, I found this wood in the river. Why you keep this in your house? Because Jiangxi Weir is very important to me. I remember it for life. I appreciate it for life. I grow up here. I drink the water of Jiangxi Weir. So you really have a very close relation with Jiangxi Weir. In the past, here was drought. But after the construction of Jiangxi Weir, this place is greatly improved in terms of the livelihood and many things. We have the most famous food and materials in China. So you mean with the role of Jiangxi River, the productivity of the grain improves, people's livelihood improves. I think here looks like the miniature of Jiangxi Weir. Did you make this by yourself? Yes, I made this by myself, and once there are people or visitors, I can introduce this to them. After the construction of the weir, the ecological environment here also preserved and improved. So for this miniature of Jiangxi Weir, I think it looks the same with the Jiangxi Weir. Yes, I want to showcase the irrigation project so that to make people remember the greatness, the great achievement of Jiangxi Weir. That's why I make this miniature. You really did precise work. From these details, we briefly know about why Jiangxi Weir can be reinscribed as the World Heritage. There are multiple reasons, including the ancient wisdom and its natural and geographic advantages, and also the system that the leaders will supervise. The civil people will practice it by themselves. And the people living here all have a very deep affection with this weir and place. Jiangxi Weir has been renovated and reconstructed for 15 times, and the investment totaled 50 million yuan. So you can see the awareness to protect this weir is really strong and high. because it brings a lot of benefits to people living here. And people nowadays are still learning from the ancient wisdom. And they will pass this spirit on. And to coordinate the function and the protection of this structure, so that to give full play to this world heritage and also to protect it.